Land, sea, and air. He is almost ready. Buckle your seat belts, or your head will hurt when it crashes. What an absolutely normal day. Hi, I'm Chris, I'm Vangelus, and I'm on the internet, and I'm streaming right now. And you're watching it, either live or in a VOD. Either way, I respect you, probably. I want to say hello to a bunch of people I see having spoken in the text chat. PT, Adam Billamoo, Long was here, Isaiah P, Robot Lorekeeper, V-Rider, Army of Bees, Watcher Prime, GD Slalom, Lano Joe 87, Eve Tronia, Bots Obsession, Swordstone with X's, John Thomas Jones, and Valkysis. Hello. I got some toys I want to open up. And it seemed like roundabouts this time seemed like a good, uneventful time during which people might want to watch something, because, like, nothing else is going on that's worth your time, right? Well, I mean, I saw Long was here that you were once again trying to catch up on more Sentai, so I do apologize. It makes it all the sweeter. Daredevil, oh, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, please don't post spoilers for, like, fictional, television and movies that are, like, you know, within a month of having happened, just as a kindness, because they're not really that relevant to the text chat, so, you know, don't have to spit them out all over the place. Make a Discord with a spoiler channel. That's the best way to talk about them. What's up, Lee Kalba? What's up, Graham? What's up, April? I've caught up again. PT, don't forget to use the code Vangelus during the month of March. What a great reminder. Yeah, let me... Well, now I'm not ready. But there's a great... Go on my channel, onto the social posts in my channel. There's a big picture of it. The Toy Hacks code for March 2025 is Vangelus. That'll give you a discount on Toy Hacks. It works. I checked. In fact, I didn't post the code till I checked that it worked. Because it took a day longer than I expected. Also, like Adam Billman was in here. If you're interested in trading cards, there's a Boxshredding up about trading cards, and there's a coupon code there as well for the TransformersCCG.org coffee shop. But the code there is just Vangelus. Now, to be clear, I didn't make up that code. That code is simply humble and practical, made up by someone who was thinking efficiently. Bots Obsession, been watching your first Sentai and Kamen Rider, Gav and Gojuger. Those are the ones airing right now, right? I'm so behind on it. I saw some clips of both. I mean, I've seen a bunch of clips of Gav. That's been airing for a little bit, but I still have not gotten caught up on my things I want to get caught up on before I start looking at new shows. But that's just me. That's just me. I've decided I'm not in a rush. Especially if Gav is good, then that means I have Geets and Gav to watch that are both loved by many that I have seen. So, you know, lots ahead. Goju already being on episode 3 feels so weird, because I thought I watched the fight scene from episode 1, like, last week, but I'm realizing that may have actually been 2 weeks ago. That's messed up. That's super messed up. Gojuger, I watched, like, clips of the first episode, and it looks like it might be a Gokaiger. Like, it might be a super fun anniversary series, so I'm kind of excited to see that. The Geets is on Tubi, I believe. So I can watch Geets for free at my leisure. Just haven't done it yet. But yeah, Gojuger, I liked the bits I watched. The Megazord toy looks kind of like a bummer, but it's like doing double duty, right? It's like being like the transformation device, as well as like a dude. Yeah, and yeah, along with here, Geets is up on YouTube, and the movies and specials are archived on the internet somewhere. Definitely. PT, it's a hint of Dawn Brothers craze right now. Oh, dang. Yeah, I'm excited to... When I finally get that taste again, I'm excited to kind of, like, nestle my way back in. It'll happen. Chris Muse, hello. Tank Hunter, hello. Astromotive, hello. I'm catching names I haven't spotted today. I'm gonna switch this over to World War... Yeah, what will World War 1 be? It switches over to the desktop. This has been a long time coming. I never saw this in the yellow box. And I never saw this in this box, but thankfully, GameStop Canada doesn't seem to have anyone who really wants it, so it was in stock for a while. I was trying like mad to find one when I would not pay taxes on it, but I could not find one where I could avoid paying taxes on it. GameStop wanted to charge taxes on it, but then, at the last minute, the Bezos factory didn't charge tax on it, which meant it was less than the GameStop discount. So I got it for no tax and lower than the GameStop discount. So I did it. I saved $3 rather than $2. That's a Canadian thing, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about with taxes, that was a Canadian thing. That bee is everywhere. Not around me. Back when it was buzzworthy, I had the same problem. People were like, that bee is everywhere, and I'm like, I don't see it. So I was looking all over the place, like what's going on. Anyway, you'll see I've got the my advanced stolen copy of the upcoming Takara Tomy Mall. What do they call them? Special attraction 3-packs. Dramatic capture. Thank you, Valkysis. No, I bought this about 3 weeks ago. I just haven't opened it yet because I wanted to save it for a stream, and then February shot past me as I was colossally depressed. Jeff Bezos is a scumbag. So I'm gonna see how this thing turns out. I'm gonna move my little keyboard out of the way. But yeah, I never saw this. Even in Toronto, maybe I saw it like once, but it was at Toys R Us, where it was like too much money. Whenever it went on sale, I never saw them. These, by the way, you know what else I have never seen with my human eyes, except like maybe one that was marked up at. No, wait, was it even out at TFCon Toronto? I can't remember. Anyway, I've never seen Studio Series 86 Bumblebee either. And people were like, I found one for $5. And I'm like, cool, buy me one for $5. Anyway, if anyone ever sees clearance SS86 Bumblebees and we are going to be in the same place, please grab one. Don't get one and then go like, I'll ship it to you, because then it will cost more than me trying to buy one in Canada, probably. Especially, right, you know, with the... Anyway, we're gonna crack this thing open. One day I'm gonna not be able to do that anymore, and that's gonna be such a bummer. Like when they implement these fancy pants new windows onto the boxes. And then what am I supposed to do? Cut tape like some kind of friggin' peasant? I don't have a spot to put the boxes. I'll just put it over there. Okay, Chris Muse, you haven't seen it in stores either. Because I was like, maybe it's a Canadian thing, where it's just like the A-level stuff hasn't really... Because I haven't seen TF1 Optimus in a store really much either. Like, I ordered mine online way back. Bunch of SSBs at Toys R Us. Lana Joe, are you in Canada by chance? Because I haven't seen it. Actually, I went over to my local area Walmart, the closest one to me, Dufferin. Because apparently Walmarts in parts of Ontario, at least, were starting to roll back, clear out all their Transformers, by which I know more than one person who got, like, a bunch of Deluxes and Voyagers for $3 a piece. So I went out there. I was like, I'm going to go out to the Duff, and I'm going to look for them. Number one, Dufferin Walmart still had barely anything. They had one filch. So I took the one filch and scanned it, and it said, like, $36. So I was like, this is not on rollback. So I went to the Toys R Us. They had a bunch of Voyagers I don't have, but for $45 because Toys R Us is owned by a lunatic in Canada. So I did not achieve anything on that sale. Okay, Lenager, you're in Ottawa. Dang. Yeah, Toys R Us did not have Studio Series B. They had Gamer Starscream. They had the third Junkion from SS86. And they had the Deluxe Wave with Sideburn in it. So Filch is not really a shelf warmer here so much as she was the only Deluxe on the entire shelf at Walmart, along with 3 Ferrax, and then a whole bunch of those TF1 toys that are like, I thought they were like Rock'em Sock'em robots, but then I saw Lie's Discount Dive, and all they do is twiddle around on a base. They had a single one-step changer Bumblebee, and they had 3 prime changers. None of them were the Quintesson. So I was not even, like, given the temptation of a $3 Transformer. And then when I went to check one that I didn't need, it wasn't $3 yet. So, like, I don't know. What are they doing? What are they doing to me? Like, one might say, well, this is hubris for having so much money. I don't have so much money, especially not if I'm doing a trip. I've been a good boy. I deserve $3 Transformers. But yeah, I do have Filch. I opened up Filch while I was visiting my mom. I did a stream out west. Apparently, it's only regular retail Transformers. Gah! So I didn't even bother scanning any of the Transformers 1 stuff. Maybe I should have. If the Bumblebee mask was like $3. They had the Bumblebee mask Transformer there. Maybe I could have gotten that for $3. Okay, Chris Muse, did GameStop tax you on Transformers in person? Because I heard mixed reports on that. GameStop did, I'm just going to say, cheat during the tax break and say that any toy that collectors like is now 14 and up, and therefore it's still taxable, which I thought was dirty, dirty pool. It's pretty dirty stuff. I had an offer for someone to pick me up a Quintesson. I think it was maybe friend Tim. But because it would have been double digits and then have to be shipped, I was like, that is now more than I want to pay for a Quintesson. I specifically want to pay single-digit Canadian dollars for the Prime Changer Quintesson, if I ever do. Yeah, Face, if the mask is like $3, let me know. Crispy, so it was in person, so it was just store. Okay, damn. Because like I said, one reason why I didn't grab this guy as soon as he came out is I was like, maybe I can get him at a store at GameStop, get my discount and no taxes, and feel like a true winner. BS. Oh, Bees, it was you. Okay, yeah. No, that was 12 USD, still too much. That's 18 Canadian dollars. I don't want to pay that for the Quintesson. Face, I don't need the mask, really. Because if it's on sale there, I can just pick one up when I get back from TFCon if I really want it. I'm just thinking of things that were at Walmart that were not the spinny TF1 Robo-Fighty toys. Because those don't seem to be very fun, going by Li's video. What if you want it? No, you can't. You are not. Are you? I'm sorry. Are you accredited? Do you have the credentials to wear a transforming Bumblebee mask? Don't store the gun on the back hole. It'll crack the plastic a little. I just want to see how it feels. Oh wow, wait, it's slipping in a little bit. That's kind of tight. I mean, I don't care that much if that cracks around the hole. I'm an unrepentant hole cracker. Like, I'm fine with whatever. But that does feel a little bit tight. I wonder if that is because it is painted. Is it painted on the inside? It's not painted on the inside. I wonder if maybe the Origins one had paint on the inside. Hole cracker is my favorite seeker. Yeah, a lot of people didn't see that season of G1. This little toy is joyful so far. I really want someone to go to Alex Mill and tell him Lee says hi as if he should know who that is and not explain anything. I can remember to. But spread the word, LA people. Lee says hi to Alex Milne. The original wasn't painted on the inside either. Okay, thanks, V-Rider. Yeah, I was curious if this would just be, like, remotely different at all, just because it is a new production run, and, like, having a matched production run, like, isn't... It's not like they just push the button again and start spitting out more Origin Bees. Like, there are little things that could go differently. Those ankle tilts are cool. But yeah, like, I am a fan of the Origin toys. I like Origin Jazz quite a bit. I didn't like paying Canadian retail for him, but I do like Origin Wheeljack enough. I just recently made his little piece of road, a straight piece of road again. This thing's kind of dorky. I think it's mostly that it has this road mode. It's just the only reason why these two indents exist. The shield or the wings are both the other position of assembly. The road mode is just so funny and pointless, because, like, I thought, right? Oh, they're gonna hook into, like, a rail on here or something. They don't really. Like, there's segments down here. I guess they kind of just, you know, like a board game, grip into segments down here. But, yeah, that's about it. Like, I for some reason thought at least Wheeljack was gonna, like, these would be wide enough to, like, chisel into some, like, divots or something. But that's goofy. Like, it's mostly the road mode. The non-road mode, right? Let me go to that. I like this thing for the non-road mode. Because, like, this part's fun. Because it's fun because it does that satisfying thing where you put the front part here, and then it grips on like a little snuggly glove. And I like that. That's fun. I just don't see the purpose of the road mode. It feels very half-baked. The road mode feels like something where they're like, yeah, we're going to pack this road piece in with more things, and then, like, just never ended up happening. Yeah, road mode. I do like that on the dramatic capture, they're painting the inside of this silver for some reason. I think that actually makes the effect a bit worse in robot mode, but maybe it... Well, wait. it makes this effect worse too. Because now it doesn't look like it's a laser shield. If it's, I just realized, if it's painted silver on the inside, then it doesn't look like a laser shield anymore. Then it just looks like a blob of shiny blue. I think that we won out on this equation. Steel armor, maybe, but I mean, lasers though, lasers. Yeah. I just realized, because obviously the reason they painted it silver is because when you stick it on the back of the robot mode, right, then it looks like extra wings or something. But this is my favorite reason for this part to exist. I just realized, damn. What were they thinking? Devs! Test your game! I forgot that this jetpack came with this Bumblebee. I was wondering why there was a jetpack lying here. That's kind of neat. Does it do anything else? I sound so ungrateful. Oh, it comes with a whole jetpack, huh? What does it do? Stick on his back? What else does it do? Huh? Nothing? Ugh! But yeah, as far great job, Kojima. As far as like Rex on these, like, I like him. I think that there is a lot of like divisive opinion on Origin Jazz, which, you know, is fine. Like, his little grappling hook dealy is a little bit overdone in the sense that it's two pieces rather than one, and I don't really get why it's two pieces. I guess you could put your own string in there. But he has like a gun and a grappling hook hand thing that both, they're fine, but like they have nowhere to go in this mode. Whereas like Wheeljack here, you can, I mean, Wheeljack I think is the only one who does this. You can even take the gun and his two little deedly bop nipples and stick them all inside, and then it's like, oh, now he's just a shoe. Yeah, I like Origin Jazz myself. Like, I bundled the thoughts people had on him together with Studser 86. No, what was the one April had? Stady6 Jazz. I like that. 'Cause I like Stady6 Jazz, but also like if mine cracked, I haven't noticed. And I looked and I can't tell. No, wait, didn't we go through this on a stream where like I held it up a bunch and then people ascertained that the crack was there, and I just kept thinking it was like, it was just a surface panel line. Anyway, for whatever reason, my Stady6 Jazz is happy. There's a port below Jazz where you can place the... Oh yeah, there's like these spots, and then there's these spots. But I don't like putting it in any of those spots, because then I don't get the nice faux hover car position. Like, I could stick this round bit onto one of the hands, but then, like, I gotta fiddle this, like, silly tiny grappling hook thing into the other. I tried putting them together and putting them on one hand, and then when I put him down, he was wiggling. And this is my little thing. I hate it when I put an alt mode down and I can push on one side and it wiggles. I like it when it's, like, nice and flush on the floor. That's just my proclivities. Anyway, we got gun. This little gun handle feels tight on everything. He's just grooving, leave him alone. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, wiggling uneven alt mode, I can get over it, but it bothers me. If I think about it too much. Do these... Can I not stick this in his hand? Oh, Sideswipe Prime isn't here. Hopefully he sees the VOD. Can't fit the cylinder in the 5mm fist hole? Lazy, lazy! These are the sticks that they were stealing in episode 1 of the Transformers. I believe that now I can finally make use of... Yeah. So, Origin Wheeljack actually has spots for the sticks to live. On his winglets. So I can finally get more function out of my Origin Wheeljack. Okay, Bumblebee can't actually hold the rods. He has to sort of hug them. That's fair. Yeah, I guess because there's 5 of them, you can kind of... Like, they're kind of slippery, because they're ABS plastic, right? Or whatever translucent plastic polymers are called. I can't remember if those are ABS or not. It's like every time I try to carry things across my living room. My elbow bumps something, I flinch, they all go flying across the floor. 5 of them means you can't have them all on Wheeljack symmetrically. I wonder. There you go. Stick one in there. Any action figure is technically compatible with any action figure as long as you can somehow trap it between their limbs. True. Good strong thighs can grip anything in the action figure world. Lena Joe, I just wrapped an elastic around them. That's sensible. Wait. You can put 3 on either side. Why would they make it so you could put 6 on him but only give you 5 2 years before this toy existed? What were they think? Stick a rod inside Wheeljack. So I did. Oh, you meant accept. That's fine. That's fine. It's all good. Alright, so in robot mode so far, I'm liking Origin Bumblebee. He's a fun little fellow. Like, I've known about him through cultural osmosis for a while. Other friends getting him. They should have. Someone just grabs me by the lips. Just pinches. I'm going to try to transform him with sensibility. And see if I can get there or not. But yeah, I'm kind of freaked out that TFCon LA is already about to happen. I don't know that I'll have a review all done for while I'm gone, but I will have a new Boxshredding done that came together suddenly in the last 48 hours. So that was unexpected. Geez, Slum, I want to see a world where this was turned into Legacy Cosmos. I love it when they actually share not just the ideas, but also the artwork of the partials versions of things that ended up becoming new molds. I find that stuff extremely interesting. It's very much my kind of candy for my brain. Sina Nuva, I too have known about this Bumblebee guy through cultural osmosis for a while. Yeah, he's something of a big deal. I don't know if you noticed, he's actually something of a small deal. Owned, not you, him. I owned him. You're fine. I don't want to own. You know, I don't want to own people. I want to own things. That came out weird. I want to see Cosmos as a leader so he's huge like in the comics. Yeah. That'd be fun. Just giant mothership Cosmos. Kind of fun already making the lower legs into these shapes. This is like, this is Beast Machine's Bumblebee. Because he's got funny-looking legs. Lena Joe, confirm B and Wheeljack only stole 4 rods. They gave me a bonus rod! Hype. Feels good. I'm winning. You wake up in the morning thinking to yourself, will I have a rod to my name? And then by the end of the day, you not only have 4, you even have the bonus 5th. Hasbro does care. We got bonus rod. I see where rivets are, so I think I see where things are supposed to move. Ooh, is that double hinged? It's double hinged. It's triple hinged. Look at all the hinges they're giving me. They love me. It's fun when you go to like a collectible store or like a flea market or just a table, and there's some Transformer who basically just looks like this. and you know that whoever is selling it just got fed up, because then you also know that whoever's selling it is probably pliable to deals. It's like, hey, you really hate that thing, huh? Planted a vocal stim in your brain. You wake up in the morning feeling like, ooh. Don't want to feel like him. That guy made it weird to feel like it. The Hassenfeld brothers personally think you're neat. Thank you. Thank you, Hassenfeld brothers. Frankly, I think I'm neat too. If I'm being humble about it. Yeah, Tank, that's how I got a bit of a deal on, what was it? Legacy Prime Thunderwing, the green one. Thunderwing. Is I got one that clearly someone got to that one part where the instructions lie to you, and then gave up. And thankfully by that point I knew how to parse what the instructions were failing to communicate. And so I just had a good old time with it. That's so friggin' cool! Sorry, this whole little assembly here makes me happy. Sadly, the stim has dated badly, yeah. Skyquake! Thank you. The green one. The zombie. The spoilers. The one who was dead for, like, most of the run of the entire show. Like, let's be real, okay? I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. We didn't send him to the farm, alright? You didn't water him enough, and he turned into a skeleton. It's that simple. I think I see how this is supposed to go. Cliff, I've spread the story of Peter to like 6 people. Excellent. We have to democratize the fate of Peter. For Peter's sake. G-Slom, the Kesha lyric hasn't been changed in recording, but she's altered the lyric when performing live. Oh, dang. Aaron Axsmith saying hello from Disney. Hello, Aaron. How's the flavor over at Disney World? How are the people doing? Are they having a good time? Are they having fun? Okay, I just gotta figure out this final flip, and then I'm friggin' yeah! The little ball socket panels are kind of poppy a little bit. That last one kind of popped off when I did this, but whatever, it'll survive, and I will survive too. Oh, that's adorable! Hello, Felix the Calico. I love this. This rules. This rules. Am I supposed to stick the rods on here in any way, or are we role playing? Oh, Swordstone, he's in, Aaron and a few others are in, position for TFCon LA already. They went a little early so they could get their, theme parking on. Rods don't store on the bee. Sad. Oh, poor Bumblebee. He's just like, I got rods. It's like, yeah, and you can't use them. Shut up. Stop looking at them. He's like, the rods look so nice. No! That's fine. Gwunky, what's up? Yeah, no rod well, there is rod storage on the big one. You can stick the rods into the clips. You know, as you do. But, most importantly, finally, I can stick Bumblebee inside Wheeljack, as I've always wanted to all these years. Now, I remember that you got a flippy some bit. Was it these bits? You can store the rods in your mouth for the safest of keeping. True. I'm in the midst of using my mouth too much for rod storage right now, but that's kind of my own problem, and I gotta work my way through it. Does I fold these bits backwards on him, so? No, he's not thin enough yet. How do I make him thin enough? I don't know where I put the wheeljack instructions. Oh, wait. Like that. Right? Thin enough. Like when I'm a little bit, I'm really staring. I gotta get the nipples out of here. Wait. No, he's too tall now. Get to fighting weight. Yeah, it's just, okay. Because Jackie's walls are a little bit wiggly, I was like, not, ooh! Oh, he's not quite in enough. But now I can't store a rod in there for symmetry. True. This is like, we have to roleplay. This is like after they've expended the rods. Oh, he feels like he's gonna burst! I can feel the hinges straining and the walls creaking from the sheer inner pressure. The back door keeps popping open. Correct, Wonky. They are work friends. They go to steal rods. It's just like, it's a living. GD Slum, will you be box shredding the Minecraft movie Jack Black? If Minecraft the movie sends me a product sample of Minecraft the movie's Jack Black, then yes, I will. But they don't seem to be actively engaging with me right now. I'm not sure why. It might be... Is he in backwards? Interesting. Interesting notion. Well, he tapers, though, right? Like, he tapers. So I'm not sure that he could fit... Like, does this fit back there? Nah, this doesn't even fit back there. Take it easy, Aaron. I might just have to get him in deeper. It's like all, you know, all struggles I'm having aside, it's bonkers and impressive that they were remotely able to have Wheeljack accommodate this. Because this is ridiculous. Like, what they are engineering for here is a fluoro-dairy-ass cheat of cartoon physics in the first place. Yeah, I think it's in there, but like, he's like literally vibrating, like ready to pop Bumblebee out. He's like, oh, I'm so full. It's kind of cool though how like it looks like Bumblebee is like piloting him from the inside, and then we can layer it up one more time. Put the big glove on the front, and now it's like you can't even tell what's going on. Be on board. Lano Joe, Mojang needs to get on sending the most well-known Minecraft streamer a Jack Black action figure. That's what I've been saying. I am the digger of Pat Lee's legendary hole, and they haven't even sent me a single Jack Black, let alone a hyper-realistically textured creeper. And like, what am I supposed to do about that? Vsauce here. Could the potential energy in Origins Wheeljack crack an egg? Maybe. It popped the back. It popped the... I mean, it probably would have done that either way, but that was... let's give it a little wrap. Yeah, he is fit to burst out the back. You knock on the roof, and you're like, hello? Bop! Hello? What? Who wants something? GD Slalom, I've dug a very, very long and winding hole on a Minecraft server. And it's in my house I live in the server, which is called Dreamwave Productions. And so my big hole I dug has a sign on it that says Pat Lee's Hole. And it's Pat Lee's extremely large hull. It just goes on and winding. Gorky, on a more serious note, that was dead serious. We're talking dead serious sciences here. The mushiness on the tabs with translucency of plastic is scaring me. Most of the finicky bits are somewhere between nylon and ABS. The translucent parts are just these two panels. They do not really tab in. They've got slots, but the true tabbing is all happening like back in here. But a lot of this toy, like, this is kind of a reveal, I think, of when the toy came out. Or when the toy came out, it was a bit of a reveal in hand that a majority of Origins Wheeljack is white and gray plastic. He's got clear, and then a clear insert panel here on the windshield. So he's a very, like, he's big and hollow. I kind of want to turn him into robot mode, because I want to turn Bumblebee back into robot mode. You get core Soundwave in there with a box rattler. Yeah, oh yeah, you could take most any core class. You might have to like fold them into a fetal position, but they'll fit in there. They might not like it. They'd be like, "Where are you taking me?" And you just like, "Shut up. Get in the box." That was an old City of Heroes, the Cape Radio, internet radio ad bit. That was a thing for a while. It was this. It was Lord Recluse's like spa, like Lord Recluse, the Lord of Arachnos, the evil organization in City of Heroes. He was a fellow with a furry coat with mechanical spider legs coming out of his back, and so we did an ad spot about his spa and resort, and one of them was like someone who's like, "Oh, I'm really happy about this exfoliating skin treatment. They've been boiling me for 3 days now, and like I can't even I'm bright pink and I can't even feel anything anymore." And then this voice in the background, which is me down pitched, is like, "Get in the box." That was a fun time. Adam Billman, do you think Pat Lee is sitting depressed in Hong Kong? Well, no, I don't, because you told me about it. Yeah. Thanks to you, I know that he is alive and well and thinking about NDEs, aka near-death experiences. Yeah, Cape Radio is still going on. In 2015, when my dad passed away, I just did not feel like doing radio broadcasts anymore. And then after enough time passed, I was like, I think like I'm not playing any of the games they're playing, and I was just like, I think I need to. I still remain. I didn't like have a big fight with everyone or anything, but I felt like I think maybe it's just a natural conclusion to my time there. I'd been a DJ there for like a decade, but as far as I know, Cape Radio persists and lives, which I am happy about. They are cool folks. Same thing with my other, one of the other Discords that I'm in that I try to remember to check in on now and then. It's a weird thing to say. Is the old City of Heroes group that I was buddies with, the Dauntless Reverie. Those are good times, too. And there's a Virtue server Discord I'm in, because Virtue was my server, because I was the roleplay server. Try to put Jazz in Wheeljack. Oh, you can't. Jazz is far too long and cool. He sticks out the back, and he's like, Wheeljack, this is your problem. Just grow bigger. Wheeljack's like, I can't grow bigger. I'm using all my mass. And he's like, too bad. Every server's a roleplay server when I pull up. Yeah, City of Heroes, there was a lot of... This is the only time I ever roleplayed with City of Heroes, and it was the only time I played an MMO, so it was like everything all at once. And I remember there was always these contentions between non-role players and role players. In City of Heroes, it was kind of a bummer because most role players in City of Heroes, they weren't like doing some like lesser form of role playing, but inherently, you could jive with role players in City of Heroes really easily because it's not like most of the time there's no weird setting going on. It is just a pulpy comic book city. I do remember the one time I came across ERPers at one of the train stations in Atlas Park, And I felt a little bad in hindsight because, like, I don't think that they knew anyone was there. And I was in like they had global chat channels back then, so I was kind of like just in a global chat channel telling some friends like, I think I stumbled upon some of that ERP MRP, and they're like, how do you know? And I was like, the descriptions are getting particularly moist. And then like I was like, how do I approach the situation without simply leaving? Because now that I'm here, I should be funny, haha. So I eventually at one point just went /emote cough and then walked away. And they were very, how do you put it? They were very embarrassed, but I was just like, no, I simply /emote cough and walk away. That's all. I think they started like profusely apologizing on like global broadcast, which I was like, I think you're making this worse. It was just me. This was like nearly 20 years ago, if not 20 years ago, so I'm sort of only half remembering the details. Yeah, but the eroticism of train stations, they were straight up just like role playing. They were somewhere else. That's why I got confused and like a little bit intrigued at first, because they were talking about being in like a secret base. And I was like, "Ooh, who's got a secret base in the train station?" And then they were like, you know, I felt like someone else's kids walking in on someone else's parents, basically. Because I just heard people talking about their cool base in the train station. I forgot how Jazz's legs work. Oh, here we go. Shinjuku Station. I think it's a skill issue. If you're ERPing, you should have the spine and chutzpah to own it unabashedly. I agree. The secret base, well, they didn't describe it that much. They just said they were going into the secret base, and then the really big lion man was starting to talk about really big lion man stuff, and I was like, oh. Seems like the secret base has sort of lost its importance. It's me, I have a secret base in the train station. Well, Tank. I apologize if I, you know, was like telling the world about the secret base. I was just excited about the secret base. Tony the Tiger. He was close to Tony the Tiger. I just remember very large lion man. And then like, I don't know, tiny empathy healer. And I was like, huh. I wonder what they're doing. There we go. Oh, yeah, I like this jazz still. Let's get Wheeljack stood up. Robot Lorekeeper, just set dressing before the set undressing. Hey, oh, dang. Doing what Origins B and Wheeljack do. True. Oh yeah, one more piece of translucent plastic, but it's just this thing. It lives back here. I haven't transformed this Jackie in a while. I hope I remember how everything works. Or this will be an embarrassing stream, much like if you were caught ERPing in Atlas Park in City of Heroes on Virtue servers, circa 2005. Okay, this all is just smooshing, so we're fine. Oh, wait, I gotta get the foot out. Yeah, and then this all, like, tabs together into, like, a glorious leg hunk. Important question for you, Vangelus. Has someone described a robot as man in cat? What sort of robot would fit that description for you? So my immediate thought is, now I'm about to say Kate Sith, because I have immediately forgotten all the ways you're supposed to pronounce that. But that aside, man in cat as a robot, probably be like a little humanoid robot piloting a much larger feline mechanoid. That's, I think, where my brain would go. Yeah, the Tony the Tiger is that not out yet, or? No. Chester the Cheetah is out. But yeah, Jada Toys are a toy company from whom you can purchase not only Tony the Tiger, but also Chester the Cheetah. So you can have them finally interact and cross over, as we've always dreamed. Enterprise resource planning, correct. Catchy, that's what it is. Sorry, I'm busted from, like, years of late 90s internet talking about how cool Sephiroth is. So my friend at school who played Final Fantasy VII was always like, I just unlocked Kate Sith. And I was like, oh man, that's so cool. Do you see Sephiroth, though? He has a big sword. Yeah, GD Salam, you can make Tony and Chester kiss, then battle Chun-Li and Kutzman in Serial vs. Capcom. Thank you, Gwonky. Yeah, I think Sephiroth is cool. When Advent Children came out, I kind of realized in that moment that I'm like, I think Sephiroth is just kind of cool because he's got a big black coat and a huge sword, and things go gong whenever he walks around. And maybe I'm just basic like that. I would have sworn this tabbed into the wedge in the wings, too. Oh, there we go. So yeah, this is Origins Wheeljack, by the way, who, you know, looks like a little deluxe guy, and then you're like, why is he a Voyager? And you turn him sideways. And you're like, oh, he's full of a lot of stuff. That's the thing, Lee, is I happily embrace parts of my 1997 teen self, too. Yeah, the brave, hardline stance that cool edgelord designs are cool, actually. You know what? The Crow was cool. It was everyone else who painted themselves like the Crow trying to carry that swagger. They simply didn't carry the swagger. Would you ever think to describe X-Kaiser as man in cat? You'd have to say X-Kaiser, and then I guess I could see, because now that you said X-Kaiser, I see how that comes together. But yeah, usually, like, the last thing I would think of is cat on X-Kaiser, because I think, you know, he's literally a little kid's dad. He's Yusha. He's got a huge sword. He's full of Obari. He has a dragon jet. He has a king rotor. Happens to have a cat face on his chest, but yeah, that's the last. That kind of comes at the end. That might just be a weakness of my own character. This, by the way, is the extra shield backpack mode. And so they're painting the inside of this silver on the dramatic capture, and I see how that can look neat. But I just think this looks cooler in just clear blue. It can't rain all the time. And you can still stick the rods in here. So you can make Wheeljack extremely load bearing. Okay, you want to confirm you're not crazy. On a recent triple takeover, 6-0 alluded to a man in cat in the X-Kaiser line, and took me half the podcast to realize he meant X-Kaiser himself. Yeah, I wouldn't have... I guess if he said in the X-Kaiser line, I might have gone like, do you mean X-Kaiser? But I would have challenged that immediately. Because like there is no... Ex-Kaiser has a lion's face on his chest to signify how brave he is. But, like, there's no cat. There's just a cat in the anime. There's just a big chasm here, and then a cat face erupts out of it once he, you know, Yushagatais and goes form up. Yeah, Gygar would be much more of a man in cat, I think, because he literally turns into a cat. I'm saying that, like, a big lion face on your chest isn't enough cat to be a man in a cat. You're a man in a man who has a cat face on his chest. It's like a very specific scientific difference. Adam Billman, pretty sure in 1997 I was standing at Toys R Us looking at Beast Wars in Toys R Us. Going, I really want to buy that. My friends will think I'm such a nerd. I went through that, and then I went on a jazz band trip, and I just bought Beast Wars Neo, what's his name? The one that came out in Beast Machines, the Triceratops. When they did the Beast Machines Dinobots. I bought 1 or 2 Beast Machines Dinobots while on a high school band trip. And a bunch of people were like, what are you buying that for? And I took photos with them, like, I would stick them, I would, like, do, like, little photos where they were in the fore focus, and I'd take photos out of the bus we were in, and then people were like, hey, that's kind of cool. And I was like, that's right. Transformers are kind of cool. Guile Dart, yeah. I forgot what he was called in Beast Machines Dinobots. Gwonky, a man in a man with a cat face on his chest. It's that train station all over again. True. No matter what happens, there is always a train station, and a man in a man, and a cat. A lighthouse. Ravage is somewhat a cat in a man's chest. Well, yeah, that's cat in a man. We're talking about man in cat, though. That was the phrase. If we were going to say cat in man, then I'd be like, well, the breast force, sound wave, etc., etc. Hello, Aaron Archer. Being in jazz band already lowers that buying Transformers. Well, the thing is, when I was in high school, our jazz band was like 50% jocks. I don't know what was up with my high school, but there was a ton of crossover between like sports jocks and musicians. So I wasn't safe amidst my people necessarily in jazz band. Skysu. Oh, sorry, did you ask that before and I missed it? Is the Bad Cube Warpath worth picking up? I think it's academically a cool curiosity. I liked it back in the day. I have a video up for it from a near done test shot that they had sent over. It is a obscenely complex toy, but there's something about it. Bad Cube's design mentality has this like specific madness that I always kind of enjoyed. Aaron Archer, 4 years in marching band. I did marching band twice. But because I played a bari sax, it was less comfortable for me, because that thing was heavy. Can Wheeljack hold the rod in his hand? I don't think... No, because the rod is not 5 mil at the top. The rod throbs too hard on both ends to fit into a 5 mil. And Wheeljack's hands don't open. So I'm putting Wheeljack's little like power nipple things back into their storage spot. Concert band and marching band for you, dang. I mean, I was in both of those technically because the way my school worked is jazz band. You had to be doing all the other band stuff to be allowed to be in jazz band, and then you had to go to school at like 7:30 in the morning for jazz band. But I was a baritone saxophone player. To this day, I still really want to get an electronic woodwind to pick up my E-flat woodwind, like, bike memory. Because I miss doing music things. Where on... Oh, there it is. Sky Seiyu, my guitar teacher tried to class lock me into joining the school's marching band, but I got out of there immediately. Depending on your instrument, marching band could be kind of cool. I think it really depended on your instrument. Adam Billman. I was in band and the knowledge trivia team, the epitome of cool high school student. My whole thing at high school is like they kind of, you know, I was nerdy, so I got bullied for like the first 2 years in grade 8 and 9. And then something happened like partway through grade 9 into grade 10 where I suddenly developed this reputation of like being a mysterious person who's in every clique. And it was kind of interesting. I still don't know how that happened. But starting especially in grade 10, I was kind of able to just like, you know, go wherever I wanted and sit with whoever I wanted. And hang out, and people were generally kind. And I still don't know what I did. Something happened whereby everyone generally was like, oh, that guy, yeah, he's all right. And I don't know what I did to this day. By the way, I hooked this rod a little bit into his leg hunk, so I'm cheating it a bit. But now we've got the dramatic capture trio all just hanging out with all their stuff. That's kind of cool. Hello, Primal. Is the Transformers swag? It's your winning personality and amiable smile. I didn't have that when I was a teenager. I was a little like try-hard edgelord guy. I would in my spare blocks, I would go to the Safeway grocery market, get some bread products, and then like for at least 1 year, I would wander around the school, getting a murder of crows to follow me around by feeding them bread because I thought it was kind of neat, and I was like, it's like maybe these are my pals. But then, like, they started trying to follow me into the building, and I was like, that's probably bad, so I stopped. Can the 3 Guttai? No, they are Guttai agnostic. You know, not by choice, but it's just, like, you know, what they were born into. Chris Muse, my reputation through high school was fishing vest. I used to be a vest person, because I like the pockets. Well, I don't think anyone knew I was the Crow Man, Gwonky, because, like, I was doing that on my own time. I wasn't hanging out with anyone. I was generally not really on the school grounds. I was just like, I just want to be nice to crows, because I like them. I like the noises they make. Speaking of noises I make, I want to get the non-F parts for this, because I edited that video, and those non-F parts are actually kind of cool. Primal, do you have any updates on your state on TFCon Canada? If you mean TFCon Toronto, like, I intend to go, because I live here, so it'd be weird if I didn't. Skyseo, I fed a crow at uni once and almost followed me home. I still miss it. Yeah, I know, I love corvids. They're so weird, but, like, it feels like... I feel like a corvid would have my back in a knife fight. It's been a minute. How about does anyone here, do y'all still know my post-apocalyptic dream team? I can't remember the last time I shared my vision of the post-apocalypse. But my dream is that if I was stuck in a post-apocalypse, right, like around here, is my crew, the main member of my crew would be, I'd be out, like, foraging, right? And then I would come across a raccoon, and the raccoon and I, we'd be like, that's mine. The raccoon's like, no, that's mine. Except he'd be a raccoon, he'd be like, wah, 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 wah. So we'd have, like, a friggin', you know, a Yakuza fist fight. You know, like, shirt gets ripped, we'd have the vanity bloodline coming out one side of the mouth. The hair gets messy, but in a cool way. And then we're both, like, we both got each other by the scuff of our shirt, or, like, in the raccoon's case, the, you know, the whatever skin shirt that raccoons have. And we'd be like, oh my! But then, like, a roving gang of, like, you know, wasteland cannibals would come around the corner. And we'd both think they came for like, I'd be like, they're here for me, and Raccoon would be like, rah, rah, which means, like, oh, they're here for me. And so, like, we'd be fighting off these cannibals, not thinking that, you know, oh, wait a second. But then, as we're fighting off these cannibals, right, we do the thing where we bump into each other, like, back to back, we look over, and we go, and then, like, at that point, we're friggin', we're Aibo, you know, we're Anikis. And then, and so it would be me, and it would be my Aniki Yakuza brother, Raccoon, who now has a knife. And then we would have a large, tamed, giant, mutated centipede to ride around on to go places. And I'd feed the centipede apples. The centipede's name might be Marigold, but I'm not sure yet. Anyway, whenever the post-apocalypse happens, that's what I'm going to be doing. I just think my impression of having seen raccoons in Toronto is I feel like if I just have a fist fight with one, where we get the cool, like, line of blood coming down the one side of your mouth, and then we both get attacked by someone while we're having our fist fight, that will be bros for life. And, like, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Primal, my first TFCon was in 2008. I had heard about it for a year or two. And then I happened to be in Toronto when TFCon was happening, so I was like, let's do this. And I met a whole bunch of people that I still know and meet, you know, every now and then, usually at conventions, to this day. The Cyclone to your Joker. Yeah, exactly. And we'd be all cool, and we would say things like, huh, and then like, yeah. That's what I would do in a post-apocalypse. Good. Recycling. Oh, don't. Stupid little plastic twisty nipple thing. There. I fixed it. Yeah, I mean, Lee, I think that my blood sugar would get messed up without access to metformin, but I'm hoping that my new brother-in-arms raccoon will be like, huh, I know where we can get some meds that will empower your blood sugar, Aniki. And I'll be like, huh, I bet you do. And then we'll go and, like, raid a hospital. Except that we'd be raiding it from villains, and then the people would come after we raid the hospital. The nice people who are supposed to be there would show up and go like, "Thank you so much for saving our hospital from those roving cannibal gangs." And we'd be like, huh, "No problem. We weren't even trying to." And then they would all love us, and then we'd be famous. Yeah, if my blood sugar ever gets funkier, then I might need to be on stuff in a fridge, too. Right now, I'm just a metformin kid. Yeah, Sina Nuva, I like the colors on this one. These are just, like, colors I enjoy. Colors of my childhood. I had little, like, plastic storage bins that were, like, specifically, like, this green and this purple. What's the anime gonna be called? We're still workshopping it. I was thinking we might just call it, like, Kurugai. Because we'd be cool. The underslung null rays. That's an idea I hadn't considered because I forgot that there were peg holes under there. That's interesting. Yeah, like, admittedly, I should, you know, if you're wondering how I feel about this, what was it? Wave 1 Windblade was my favorite deluxe of that wave, so I like the base toy of this going in. So, like, regardless of their inability to be able to budget in, like, more retooled parts, mostly just, like, the head and then, like, figuring out a color scheme, I was still like, hooray, because I like this toy. This is going on TV, you say. Well, you know, we're working on a TV deal. We're trying to shop around Kurugai. A whole bunch of people are like, why does the raccoon have a knife? And then, like, every time they ask that, you know, we go into an alleyway and we go, Kishama! And then we, like, beat the crap out of them. And I thought that meant they would give us a TV deal, but instead they just, like, call the cops, like, friggin' Orokana Ningenyo. And I'm disappointed. Zimman, you did not miss the Henkei, because this is packaged in robot mode. But I'm gonna go gem mode. Can be broadcast on early 2000s YTV on Bionics. Oh, I would demand it. Well, no, because I would want to pivot this into making them make me get to be a program jockey on YTV, because I always wanted to be a program jockey, and then that seemed to cease to exist for the most part, and I'm still kind of salty about that. Yeah, V-Rider, like, the head is just kind of odd. I don't mind it, like, you know, much like with the Chromia, I'm like, well, this isn't the one from Cyberverse, really. Like, it kind of is, but, like, Chromia kind of was, because Chromia was sort of not in Cyberverse that much. So it's easy to go, like, yeah, she fell through the Legacy portal and got Legacy-ized and got a nose or whatever. But this one, like, right down to the body type is completely different from Cyberverse Slipstream, because Cyberverse Slipstream was kind of buff, had big shoulders. So I don't really care that much, because it's like, whatever. The package to Cyberverse Slipstream, that's how they made her. They pulled some cool colors. It's just a Slipstream for my own tastes, and I don't mind that. I can even get over this being like a Cyberverse Slipstream who goes through a Legacy portal. It's just like, you know, I haven't done the legwork to, like, build up the headcanon to explain things. Maybe if I get the non-F parts, I will get inspired. Skyasu, this Slipstream is infinitely better than the Make Toy Slipstream. Yeah, the Make Toy Slipstream sounded like it was kind of a bummer, because the mold was just in a state at that point. Yeah, Slipstream has been around for what, 17 years now. One of those character concepts that we really can just take as granted. Axel Nightmare, good evening. How am I doing in the lead up to TFCon? I'm a little bit nervous. Less about TFCon, more about, like, lots of, like, you know, global circumstances surrounding the travel that I will be doing. But, you know, that's why I'm here doing some toys to make myself feel better. Slipstream is almost able to vote. Correct Long was here. But yeah, I've started on my... Wait a second, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? That's impossible. I never do anything wrong. Oh, I forgot to rotate her legs around. I did do something wrong. Don't tell anyone, though. De-stressing, you might say. Correct! Remind me to plug all my TFCon LA panels at some point. But I'm working on those panels now because I want to get most of the presentations made before Friday. Because my first panel's on Friday. Usually I'm more laissez-faire and I'm like, oh, just make it on the day. But like something about this year, I'm kind of like, I want to be prepared. I want all my ducks in a row. But also my first panel is at 5 p.m. on Friday, which is when people are still pre-registering or like out eating dinner. So I'll just say it, my de-stressing collector distress panel might be to a fairly empty room, but I will still try to make it an intimate affair. It will still be recorded, hopefully. Unless the AV team isn't there, in which case I'll be, like, filming it on my phone. Yeah, I like this jet mode. You know, there is a question, like, should Slipstream have VTOLs? And, like, you know, I don't really mind it, because to me, VTOL wings are sort of a visual upgrade and a tactical upgrade, so I'm like, it's neat. Would she be cooler with bespoke wings? Yeah, probably, but, like, it's not like I got handed a friggin', like, rotten, you know, slice of bread. It's still a slice of bread. But But yeah, I got at 5 p.m. on Friday, I will be doing De-Stressing Collector Distress. By the way, at 7 o'clock on Friday, Jim Sorensen's doing a History of GoBots panel I kind of want to check out. It sounds fun. Yeah, I generally am liking this. Oh yeah, I forgot to flip this up. There we go. We did it. Will I be at the third-party panel? Usually I skip it because, like, I don't really get much out of it. I just look at the slides, because the slides go up in full quality on TFW, like, about a minute after the panel ends. And, like, I don't get much out of the third-party panel. It's a lot of it tends to just be, like, lots of people cheering at a slideshow. And the people who are making the toys aren't there, and the people who designed the CADs in the slideshow aren't there, so I'm kind of like, I understand it, it's just it does nothing for me, really. Third-party panels usually when I try to get food, because usually a lot of people go to it, so I'm like, excellent. Now I may sneak off. Take it easy, GD Slalom. Oh yeah, Lee, it won't be dueling panels. I emailed and I said, like, hey, me and Jim are both booked at 7 p.m. So, like, how should I plan around this? Will I be attending the secret TFCon Illuminati meeting? I mean, I am the secret TFCon Illuminati, so, like, I'm just gonna be, like, you know, the rights of Ash Gente, from Discworld? I'm just gonna be, like, sucked right out of wherever I'm standing at one point. I'm gonna end up in a little circle of chalk. And I'm going to be like, I was, you know, with my little cocktail, we're going to go like I was at a party. So, you know, whether I want to or not, I'm going to get yanked to whatever Illuminati party is going on. That's just something I have to deal with, though. Like, I've come to terms with it. I try to plan my schedule around it a little bit. Are there any toys you'll be on the lookout for on the floor? So I'm rocking pretty poor this year, and I'm rocking with no check luggage, so I'm definitely gonna, like, look around and see what's there, but I will have very, very hard limits on what I might actually pick up. For instance, nothing large, because I have no check luggage. I would like to see if there's any cool 3D printed stuff in the Artist Alley. And it would be cool if I could find, like, just a neat deal on something, you know, loose and used that I don't have. But I'm not sure how feasible that is anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna check out everyone, like folks like Jobby who are doing, like, personal, like, collection sales, I'm assuming. I'm gonna go and take a little peepity poop at all their tables. But, like, it's gotta be something that actually I'm excited about, though. Because I have been there before at conventions where I'm like, if I don't buy something, I've failed at the convention. Which is silly. But, like, I wanna see if I can find something where I get that perfect little serotonin dopamine double hit of like, I did it! Don't do a peepity poop in public. True. I am a visitor to the country. I don't want to cause an international incident. Sunken toy fallacy. I usually end up finding something. Like, I do have a couple things I'm picking up from folks when I get out there. So I also need to then immediately film all those boxes and then open all those toys and put them all into my luggage, like, immediately, so I know how much room I have left. But, like, you know, if there's, like, good deals... The problem is, like, usually I'll fall over to, like, Legends. I hate saying that. Pocket scale stuff. I'm just gonna correct myself with my own preferred language. But slap that toy guy for me. Okay, I guess so, if I have to. But yeah, I used to, like, you know, pick up some Magic Square or something. But now I almost, like, I kind of want to double check, like, if I buy it here, like, is there any point, or should I just order it when I get home? Like, I want to get something that feels like I'm gaining by being present and purchasing it. Ronnie Lane, you got Super 7 Raw's Retro Box Pizzazz from Gem for 55 cents. I heard about that. That's kind of wild. Yes, Gaisu, it's toys that fit in your pocket, or that are scaled to toys that fit in your pocket. All the pocket scale Omega Supremes kind of ruined the whole thing, but that's not my fault, that's their fault for not sending me a letter first. Yeah, value serotonin. Tasty. I got one more thing to open up. I've had these since the end of January, and I kept going like, I'm going to stream these. So we're going to Quake it. For those who don't know Quake, his big character trait is he is very adept at clearing out rubble. Just flattens all the rubble, just scrapes it up, gets it all out of the way, stuffs it into a bag. Why are we booing? If you don't buy Transformers stuff at the Transformers convention, you're a true Transformers YouTuber. I am. A lot of people don't know this, but like, I actually patented the dictionary definition of true Transformers YouTuber. So I kind of through tenure just always going to be a true Transformers YouTuber, like whether I want to or not. I'm in Toronto right now, so I have not felt any of the earthquakes. My mom did though. She got woken up by an earthquake. It was shaking her bedroom. Not enough to freak her out, but more so like, what the hell's going on? What? I thought this was a third-party piece people were buying. Ooh, these guys are big. These are notably bigger than the G1 ones. Ugh. This thing, like, just, like, wrenched its own friction peg apart. Luckily, it only has to do one thing, so I don't really care. It's insanely tight, though. Dang. Give him wings, make him skyquake, true. I'll see what I can do. These are nicer than I thought they were going to be. Like, these are sized up just enough from the G1 ones that, like, you can actually kind of see what they look like now. Now, I know what you're thinking, and I'll answer you. Why cut things when I don't have to? When I can just manipulate cardboard? Like, why cut any of it? Now, if there's one thing that Quake knows how to cut, it's rubble. Well, he knows how to cut it. He knows how to just stomp it flat. Yeah, just call me the cardboard manipulator. Oh, this moves. Oh, it folds and moves. Okay. That's why there's a little gun sticking off his back. Look, there's even a little tab for it. Oh, that's adorable. Alan Weaver, it's my favorite game, is trying to remove TS without snipping those plastic. Yeah, me too. Especially Quake was easy. Like, when you can slip the arms out like that, I'm like, oh, this will be fun. This will be satisfying. Yeah, he's got a legit gold face. I didn't actually really notice that. It's actually shiny and stuff. Well, let's give him a good old tip-top and heater. I wish I had the swagger to have been christened with the name of Tip-Top. Because, like, you gotta live life a certain way to ride that out. But if you do, then you're a friggin', you're a monarch among peasants. He's just knocking at your door, and it's like, hello! Is Rubble home? You know, like the Terminator going like Sarah Connor. He's like, hello! You open the door, it's this guy with two giant guns. I'm looking for someone named Rubble! 24-karat face. Hell yeah. Oop, oop, oop. That's just a feature. That's just a feature of the mold. Hey, you got Quake on your computer? So, I've never messed with Skullgrin, but I have 2 of the G2 Decepticon Trooper, and I am a fan of the G2 Decepticon Trooper. So I'm curious how much of that I can carry over into whatever it is that Quake does. Because he seems to work just differently enough to confuse me at a glance. Never mind, I figured him out. Which way is it now? Which way is it? Is it this way or is it the other way? Where were they going without ever knowing? Oh yeah, I gotta slide this up. Right. Yeah! The satisfaction step. A Quake being like a very quaint and normal tank is like, to me at least, it's very in character. I'm like, that's good old G1 Quake. He just turns into a funny little lump. Character trait. Quaint. How did... They changed some stuff. He has different legs now. I remember how this works. Don't worry. I'm actually very good at Transformers. A lot of people are quite shocked how good I am at Transformers. And so, if you're shocked, then it's okay to feel that way. A lot of people are really freaked out at how really good I am at Transformers. They're afraid, but, like, also respectful. Yeah, that's me. I'm the Transformers guy. That's me, yeah. What are we calling that character? Jimmy Fish Sweat. Local town Transformers guy. Oh, that's satisfying. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. Do it, yeah. Yeah, do it. Oh, I see. Okay. You can call me the Joker. I'm actually not a great Transformers speedrunner. I can't steal Valor like that necessarily. I'll always get stuck on something for no good reason, like here, where I'm just like, how did I pop that up and not get it back down? There we go. Okay, I got it back down. Yeah, there have been speed transforming races. I think those kind of things need to be very curated, though, as to like what the subject matter is. Not content with simply being a normal tank, he adds 3 barrels on the top, asymmetrically. I didn't think that the turret would swivel at all. So even if you have to lean it up like this, that's more than I was expecting. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I see how this doesn't rub a lot of folks the right way, but I think it's cute. I kind of like. He's like a little potato. I like him. Were there any standouts from Toy Fair this year? I was very excited to see that Metal Cardbot is getting distro. I hope it works out okay, because it sounds like it's Agabus that's doing it, and they're very, as far as I understand, they are new at distro. Going by the one video I saw, it sounded like it was a new venture of theirs. So, until I'm proven otherwise, I remain somewhat dubious that they are going to distro Metal Cardbot to Canada successfully anytime soon. I think they're going to have enough trouble figuring out America, but I would like to be wrong, because I would like for there to be inexpensive Metal Cardbot, or really, I'd like for there to be inexpensive Korean transforming robots available to me in Canada, because that is a whole genre. That is an oeuvre that is, like, packed with extremely unique quality that a lot of people in North America are simply not exposed to very much, because shipping it over from Korea makes everything more expensive. Granted, it's a bit of a buzzkill that it is Metal Cardbot Season 1 and Metal Cardbot S, the second season. That toy line seems to be exponentially more intense and cool, but also a lot of it is on AliExpress, so I might be ordering 1 or 2 Metal Cardbot S figures off Ali. I would like to order Muscle Hide before the summer. That is my hope. Yeah, the purple helicopter's cool. I forgot that. I think it's Shadow X or something. Zero, this is very nostalgia bait. I'm pumped for My Pet Monster. Yeah, loyal subjects, they seem to be doing, like, full-on replica level work, like enhanced replicas for My Pet Monster, was it Strawberry Shortcake and Mask? And if they can pull it off in production, then that rules. I mean, like, I would assume My Pet Monster has some of, like, the lowest bar for, like, achieving the quality one would want, since it's like My Pet Monster is a plush, right, with the shackles on that you like break out of, right? Yeah, Oradescent. I think Cardbot S is going to be long enough that if there's any of it that you just really want, it's not going to be like the worst decision in the world to order it off of like Ali or something like that. That's what I'm probably gonna do. Like I might just focus on like picking out some Metal Cardbot S stuff if I have the cash for it, and then with Metal Cardbot Season 1, I will simply assume that it will be available to me later this year at a decent price. But like I said, I'm a little dubious that Canada will be seeing any of it this year. But it was nice to see that Agabus were doing that distro for Boss Fight as well, because I learned from Cherry Bomb Toys, like, kick-started indie toy lines, be they large or small, the biggest wall they eventually run into is distribution. And we are also in the midst of a manufacturing and distribution catastrophe ongoing. So, a company like an Agabus or Cherry Bomb Toys stepping... Like, Cherry Bomb is doing, I believe, Canada distro for Plunderlings. So, anyone who can step in and start handling that distro stuff on like the B level, not being like a massive distro company or being like a tiny indie, but like in the middle somewhere. As long as they do a good job of it, that's a net positive for everyone. So I hope that all turns out well. I forgot, Oridescent, I don't know if you know, if Miniforce was Young Toys or Samyang or Sonicong, or is Samyang Sonicong? Because Young Toys was at Toy Fair like 10 years ago with Tobot and MiCard, and retailers only wanted MiCard, and I'm still kind of salty about that. Also, yeah, like, I think I like this. Like, no, I know I like this. Like, it's a little bit funky busy up here. I know there are, like, third-party, like, you know, replacements for that bit to go thunk and be a bit more cohesive. But, like, I kind of like what it's doing. And I like this mold when it's not Skullgrin. I never saw Skullgrin on sale. The only Skullgrin I ever saw on sale, locally, I should say, also had, like, half of his face parts missing. And they still only knocked, like, $5 off him. And I was like, no. Okay, Miniforce is Samyang. Okay. Yeah, maybe. The Miniforce toys are pretty darn big, though, if I recall correctly. What's up, Deltatron? Yeah, I like Quake. I think that if you really don't like this alt mode, then it's like, you know, there's nothing I can do to change your mind. There's no fence sitting on this alt mode, right? But I don't mind it. It's goofy, but it's a funny, quaint shape. It's to me a character trait of a G1 Quake is that his alt mode is a nondescript lump. Like the G1 tank mode was also like pretty darn solid, all things considered. Yeah, John Warden, I should say, I was told by people who asked that John Warden doesn't work at the Loyal Subjects, but he was brought on as a consultant. Hopefully that extends into a long-term thing, if that is what he wants, because, you know, he deserves to have some work still. His loved ones could use some health insurance. But it was also kind of funny that, like, the first place we saw him after the layoff at Hasbro Transformers stuff, or Hasbro in general, not just Transformers stuff, was that he was there saying the word Hasbro and convert a bunch with regards to Mask, and I was like, that's kind of funny. Time is a circle. But for those who don't know, when John Warden got laid off, he actually had to do a GoFundMe. Like, they not in perpetuity, but they needed because of the suddenness of the whole thing, they needed like a fill month because of a condition that his wife has, if I recall correctly. But yeah, the cardbot stuff really was the standout for me, just because I was like, when's this ever going to happen? And then it was a little sobering when I was like, oh, it's not Samyang doing it themselves. They are working with someone. And then, you know, so I kind of... Also, the toys they had on display, apparently it was like, these are just what was available. They are still determining deco changes. It was floated in the YouTube video I saw that they might not do the eyes on the alt modes, at which point I'm kind of like, look... just embrace it. It's literally, it's the aesthetic. Like, just roll with it. In my opinion. Deltron, Crohn's disease. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I forgot the details. I would actually like it a little bit less if they got rid of the eyes on the alt modes, because having seen clips of the show, the eyes are on the alt modes almost all the time. That is what they look like. And I'm like, this is an intrinsic part of the design. It's because they're going like, oh, we might remove the eyes from the windshields. And I'm like, dog, no, put the eyes on the robot heads. That's one of the major upgrades to the S series, the second series, is they had painted matching eyes on their robot heads. Oh, here we go. Deltatron. John's wife needed medication, a single dosage, 2 months of Skyrizi, which cost $21,017.34 without insurance. That's a glimpse into American health insurance, by the way, for anyone not from America. It always kind of makes me double take. Oh yeah, we got to see if we can do some dabs. Thank you, Long was here. Keeping me honest. Oh, Quake just friggin' look at that. Effortlessly. Ronnie Lane, I need to see if NECA Burt can dab. Quake literally dabbing on his haters' graves. You could say dabbing on the rubble of their graves. Lee Calba, that's good old biologic medicine, which I am also on. Yeah, it's a sobering thing that is worth knowing if you are not American but know any Americans, is to be aware of how much, how much they are at risk if they so much as decide to change, not even careers, but just change companies, change positions. Sam Wellwell can confirm. I take Skyrizi. With insurance, it's $5. Without, it's $20,000. Completely messed up. I'm just leaving the guns in so I don't mix them up. So we got some gun dabbing. You know, my apologies. And yeah, that is why layoffs just before Christmas happen a lot in corporate America. That in and of itself sounds like Ebenezer Scrooge levels of just cruelty. But then you bear in mind that those layoffs often come in tandem with, and now you don't have health insurance. And then it's a whole extra level of cruelty. Cruelty that would make Ebenezer Scrooge go hey, now hold on a second. I'm talking pre-character arc Ebenezer Scrooge. Going no, hold on a second. Just because Tiny Tim has the anti-Tiny Tim disease, I didn't do that. I don't have any coverage to give you. Ebenezer Scrooge is but you're turning it off. I'm not even that cold, and I hate children and fun. Yeah, I think Ebenezer Scrooge would feel trepidation. Ebenezer Scrooge would be like, "Hey, do they make a ghost about Christmases? Maybe past, present, and future?" I suddenly really want to have some introspection. I'm gonna eat this handful of edibles before I go to bed. But yeah, this is a successful Transformers opening block. I filmed the box. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this before TFCon, so I might be waiting till after TFCon to stream cracking open my Dino King. Because I pulled the box out and I filmed it, and I pulled the tray out of the box and filmed it. So I have footage of it before I recycle it, because that is just not a keepable. That's a specifically anti-keepable box, which is such a bummer. Also, what kills me, there's tiny half cut off artworks of all the Dino Force in their new designs, and I'm like, where's the full art? Someone drew this? Viewer, undigested potato does hell in a man's psyche, I suppose. Yeah, true. So I may wait on Dino King until next week. I ate the full art. Sorry, this guy, you didn't save any for me. Greedy. Yeah, V-Writer, I agree. if they're all in a cardboard tray that can never be reassembled, like, yeah, at least put a poster in or something. Like, bitte. Bitte einmal poster. Velkai, have you handled or owned any of the core Dinobots before? No! I never bought or handled a single one of them, so it is completely new! That's why I want to save it for a stream. I almost just opened it up today, thinking, like, whatever, let's just do that, I want toys. And I was like, no, because I have not handled a single one of these. I think that could be very fun to do with everyone hanging out. So, I decided to wait. Oh, okay, so yeah, that Super 7 Wild Bill thing. I wanna, hang on, I gotta bring that up. I think, and I'm not doing this out of, because listen, I hate Hasbro Corporation. I think Chris P. Cox's middle name stands for piss and poop. And yeah, so that art comes from Super 7. I'm not sure with a licensing situation like that, like precisely where the art comes from, but I think the Wild Bill thing is a false positive. But it's hard to explain why without bringing it up. So I kind of feel like I should bring it up. Now everyone stopped talking about it, so like now I gotta... If I just search Wild Bill on Blue Sky, do I get it? Oh, here we go. Okay, okay. So if I go to browser share, this should open this up and not just a giant chat. If it opens a giant chat, we can fix it. There we go. Okay. So, yes, it looks like a sixth finger, number one. I think that if you're like, what the hell is going on, you have every right to be giving this the side eye. I can just do it from here. Okay, so you see how that looks like like the index finger is in there, right? That, wait, where's my cursor? That is the same orange as the explosion in the background, so I think that's actually what's happening. However, it is also just goofy and messed up. Also, don't look at his mouth. But basically, I think that that's a normal hand with some false positives show through orange in the background. But there's plenty of other weird stuff going on here where it would sure be nice to know, like, what the line art looks like. And I feel like maybe companies should be prepared to show line art, given that this is a very common topic right now. Yeah, I mean, those two fingers are the same length. That could just, like, the fingers basically fall under, this could just be crummy art. But there's more weird stuff going on, I think that's more important. I only pick on this because I think that this part here is a false positive, and I think that we gotta start looking, we gotta glance at hands, but we gotta start looking at other things too. Yeah, the strap to nowhere, like that's almost more important. But yeah, Alan Weaver, I think that this is just the background. Like, of all the weird stuff happening here, and I mean, I haven't done a Pantone check, so someone could do that in Photoshop, but I think that that little bit there is a false positive. I only say this because I think it's really important that we be critical of our own self-assessment of these things, because false positives make the entire endeavor useless. So we gotta be like way more picky on this stuff. And yeah, I think the mouth is way worse than the little thingamy here. Either way, I would sure like to see some line art. That would be great. But, no, there was, like, who was it? Was someone in the Discord who brought this up? Like, there was a survey done a couple months back, of, like, trying to see if average public, not even average public, just random people could actually spot some of the things that make these things more demonstrably generative. Like, can you tell which of these is generative, etc.? And a lot of people get stuff wrong. Can you show Zartan's card art? Oh, is it super... Did people talk about it on Blue Sky? Because otherwise I don't know where to look. I got Zartan in his fatal... Oh, wait. Is this it? Hang on. Because you said he's holding a guitar funny, right? Hang on, I might have lucked my way into... What the f... That's the problem, is it's like, it's just on the cusp. Sorry, I'll bring it up. It's just on the cusp where I'm like, it's so close to also just being crummy art. And I opened this in a new tab, so I can go zoomy a little bit more now. First, I want to look up here, because this is more important to me. Don't look at the thing that's obvious, look at the other things. That's where you find more funny stuff. So, for instance, the glob that his thumb is coming out of is way more suspicious to me than anything going on with his fingers there. Those could just be stupid fingers. Those could just be some crummy fingers. But you go up here, the thumb blob to me is like way more suspect. And if you want to really look into it more, let's see. Mouth looks kind of normal. His tongue kind of turns into his lower teeth, which is weird. But that could that I also could chalk up to just kind of like crummy art. It's got to be like really standouty things. You covered the bottom! Like, the shape of the vest over here is kind of funky. Mostly because it sticks out in a weird way. But either way, you simply send them a lot of emails saying, I would like to see the line art for this art so that I know that it was drawn by a person, please. If they don't show it, then, you know, that's on them to weather that storm. The belt loops, or I'll go back for a sec. The belt loops, I think, could be an attempt to have him, because he's raising his arm up, right? The idea could be that the back ones are jangling upwards a little bit, and it's just drawn badly. What is that? The top do you mean the top knuckles? Because I think these top knuckles look way weirder than... Because over here, this is just, like, funky-ass perspective. And they're getting sucked into the glue of the bubble. Up here, I think those knuckles look way... Like, this whole hand looks way the hell weirder than anything else I see on this guy. 4 string tighteners and 12 strings. Let's see. Ooh, I want to know if that's what the accessory looks like. At a glance, I would say that this guitar looks completely messed up. Although, in a way, the bummer is, like, this is also in a way where how I would have drawn a guitar if I was, like, 8 years old. But no, I also would like to know what the on-model is for how many are supposed to be at the top, and whether they painted a billion strings on this thing. I'm just really highly fixed. This hand is so screwed up, in my opinion. Left arm under and over the guitar. Looks like his elbow is at his wrist. Just enough of it's hidden that, like, here is bicep, there's elbow... Sorry, here is forearm, there's bicep. Elbow, you can see a little elbow nodule here, but it's covered by the guitar stem. So, like, you know, perhaps by design, it's very hard to tell there. Like, that's the kind of stuff I've seen a Pat Lee do with an arm, right? And to be fair, going off what Auradescent said, this is kind of like, to a degree, and to make sure I'm not, like, you know, glossing this up, it's like, what good artwork? It's kind of debating between where on the scale it is between generated by an LLM and really rushed and jank digital painting, right? I kind of fall on the side of rushed and jank digital painting more often with some of this stuff, only because if they were trying to cut corners, right, and use a real bad LLM, I think it would look worse. Now, it might be they're paying someone to touch up an LLM, and that creates a negative, or negative information space where I just don't think it's very easy to tell what's going on without access to development information, like line art. Okay, Ronnie Lane, 4 tighteners and extra strings looks accurate to the episode screen caps. That's what I was thinking, because I was like, what if this is just bad accuracy, right? Either way, I think it really behooves Hasbro and Hasbro partners to say that a human did their line art and credit a human, because they lose nothing, and it can help solve these debates a lot quicker. And I think that when they don't, my frustration with some of these debates is aimed at them and not the people having the debates. Like with the Constructicon box art, right? I don't really think that that's a fully generative piece. Maybe it was generative base with some assisting. I'm not sure. But too much of it has symmetrical logistics for me to think it was simply spat out of a machine and done as done. However, I don't blame anyone for being suspicious, especially with Chris P. Cox at the helm. And if I were to hold anyone to account for my frustrations with seeing that topic constantly come up, it is with Hasbro for not saying, or I would almost assume, allowing other people to say where the box art came from. And it doesn't help that we have a precedent of, the toy packaging not crediting the artist on the box necessarily, but, Marcelo or Emiliano or someone usually coming out and going like, oh, here's my line art because I'm an artist and I'd like to be able to sell prints later on. So here's the line art I did for this toy packaging. Yeah, Zimman, that's also where I fall. It's like, it looks more like janky art. Wouldn't surprise me if it's like an unscrupulous freelancer. I also wouldn't be surprised if it is something internal Hasbro where they are LLM puking out baseline stuff and then paying, like some kind of underpaid freelancer or intern to like try to clean it. Because, you look to the case of the Coca-Cola commercial where, as I understand it, they belched out some LLM junk and then had an actual animator or artist like go over to clean up all the bits that were truly cursed. You look at that the woman with the red hair or whatever that company is like, we only had to pay $500,000 to make this movie, and then they're crediting that they had a screenwriter and they had someone from animation and some other artist who's famous, and they're just not saying what they did, right? So there is a very large nebulous zone of, you look at The Brutalist, right? For the end sequence where they were like, we LLM'd up some blueprints, but then we used that to assemble a handmade sequence. And it's like, okay, well, why was it feeling like teeth had to be pulled to find out you LLM'd up the blueprints? And at that point, why LLM the blueprints? You're at that point of making the movie. It's like my whole part about that Australian horror film where they're like, oh, we LLM'd our two technical difficulties cards because we ran out of time. And it's like, okay, well, that's on you for being a bad project manager for your own product, right? Or your own project. But also, at that point, just draw crappy ones. Because your aesthetic is late night the 70s. Just draw crappy ones. Or go pay an artist, even better, in fact, go pay an artist like $100 to make you a real quick one. Because if you don't have that budget, and yet you are lauded at festivals and getting global distribution, then you do have the money to do it. Like, that's kind of, to me, that's almost the bigger point. Like, we created a machine that will more efficiently let us spend $500,000 instead of $2 million to make a questionable quality film. And it's like, if the whole goal is efficiency and low costs, but you're spending money to do it, your own mission statement has been undercut by your own lack of passion or heart. And it doesn't make any sense, even in the most soulless way. I don't mean to get my frustration across so much, but this whole topic, like, to be perfectly honest, and this isn't targeted at anybody here, for instance, but, like, I find that the conversation around it and the klaxons that people set off to be a little bit annoying, if not frustrating at this point, because I feel that, how do I put this? There is a certain flavor of media literacy that is not being developed in order to just try to find stuff by brute forcing through the public court. And on one level, that's fine, but I feel like that is a technique that is ignorant of the technology at work and ignorant of the various different processes attempting to abuse that technology. And it would behoove people more so to take interest in those processes, or at least, like, seek out people who can inform a bit more about those processes. If only because, like, every time that there's a false positive on this stuff, like a true false positive, it feels like the entire tech bro scumbag side of it has been handed one entire gold brick that they get to just use for free now, because they can go like, well, you all thought X was, you all thought Y was, and because they already, usually I don't care about this stuff, because they already managed to convince the entire planet to call it AI art, which is already a mostly misnomer fake name that is very misleading by design, giving them a single brick is doing them too much of a service, in my opinion. Me screaming about the one episode of 01 about the manga artist. Yeah. Yeah, more. It's really got to be more about supporting tool sets to detect and to, I think even more importantly, tool sets to poison LLMs so that they can't deal with that artwork. Like, you know, we have a couple, right? I don't remember the names. I don't know this stuff very well. I try to stay aware as much as I can. But, you know, like the whole idea of, like, glaze poisoning your artwork. Stuff like that, I think, is more important. Because also, a lot of these LLMs, I think, have a very hard ceiling on what they're able to do. I believe that the idea that they can outpace development on their own and turn it into an arms race, I think is giving a little bit too much credit to the LLMs in question, because they are being developed by people whose short-sightedness is about the size of one of these. That is how short their sight is. The kind of people who could develop a language learning machine, which, by the way, is a legitimate technology, is just being horrifically abused right now. The kind of people who could develop a worthy and good LLM are probably not working on a lot of this garbage. That's kind of halfway's my assumption. Cannon Build Me, there's a few reputable LLM poisoning projects out there. Hell yeah. Yeah, Picky Peas, I kind of figured glaze poisoning was like, this is good right now, but this needs development, and I feel like turning it into kind of the Kleenex word is dangerous. And if it is not accomplishing stuff very much anymore, then that is kind of fulfilling my concerns about that. But yeah, there's a lot more about this topic that I think is important than trying to eyeball detect stuff necessarily. Obviously, we were just doing the exercise, right? And I think there's value in developing a certain sense of where to look. Like, I didn't invent this. I got this from some other folks. But, like, on toy packaging art, this is hard to do. But if there's ever an image with stuff in the background, if there's a detailed background, ignore the thing in the front. Don't look at the hands. Don't look for sausage fingers. Don't look for funny face. Because you can still find stuff there, but if you look in the backgrounds, that's where you're going to find your average LLM generator struggling. A lot of toy packaging manages to avoid that by not having backgrounds, which is frustrating. Anyway, I got off on a tangent. An important one, though, and by the way, I want to say I'm happy y'all were mentioning the Zartan artwork. I think that was actually way more dissectable than Wild Bill. I want to look at the other ones now. There was a set of 4 thumbnails with this. What were the other ones? Okay, well, Wild Bill was one of them. Let's see. What's up with this? I'm gonna look at the Snake Eyes now. Let's have a look-see. I'm gonna open up the other two. I'll put them in tabs, and then we can do the exercise. You can do the exercise with me. And Cobra Commander Arctic. That is a funny family name to have. Oh no, not Arctic Cobra Commander. His name is Cobra Commander Arctic. You can see there. Where's my ballooner? All right, let's have a look. See. Like he's lucky, right? In that his helmet inherently just looks like some shapes. So I'm wondering if something's sneaky in here. I mean, there's also, again, not to make this even more complicated to think about, there's always the chance they pay for one piece of artwork and then, like, you know, spit out 3 other half pieces of artwork. Oh, wait a second. Well, I mean, jackets can look like that. I think that looks kind of funny. But, you know, whatever. I didn't know he had funny little boots. What a nerd. Cobra Commander with boots. Anyway, I think this pocket's kind of weird, but, like, you know, that's about it. I think this pocket's really weird. But I would just think that would fall under, can I see some line art, please? Because that could just well be someone drawing it that way, too. Real commanders wear socks and sandals. That pocket is on the toy too. Where does he even have pockets on an O-ring figure that's supposed to be wearing a long coat? Well, yeah, but like if you're drawing it, right? Like the other pocket has a bulge, kind of. Like they're, I don't know. Yeah, that's where he got a lump. And then what's this one? Snake Eyes. Hiding a whole hand behind the blue, you cheater. Part of me feels like the creasing here looks kind of funny with the giant peck over here being all skin tight and then the weird creases that don't really look like ribs or look like abs. Ribs. And his hips are weird. But yeah, he's also a guy in a full costume. Did he always have the little, wait, can you see this? Did he always have the little Scarlet bow and arrow thing himself? I always thought that was Scarlet's. Did she rip it off from him? And yeah, Snake Eyes just has 2 belt buckles because he's a friggin' try-hard weirdo. You see here, Snake Eyes has 2 belt buckles, but also, to his credit, 2 belts. So... Also, just, I don't know, the temerity of being a ninja, but with 3 hand grenades strapped to your chest. Something that I don't know whether or not the technology exists, because this is a case with some of the Transformers art people were being suspicious on, is whether or not the technologies in question have the computing capability to apply a model sheet on top of the output. Or if that's something being you know, cleaned up by a human, etc. But no, yeah, this, you know, there's nothing that really sticks out. It's just, again, looks very janky and kind of digital painted to me. The digital painting thing is, I forgot about that term. That is, I think, a solid catch-all for some of my feelings on these things. Like the Stady 6 Constructicon box arts. They all just look very digital painted to me more than anything else. And rushed, and geometric, and symmetrical. But the symmetry is what makes me think they're not, at least they're not the output of an LLM. They might have been LLM based, but like, I don't know. I think it's more likely that the Constructicon art was posed CAD models that were then digitally painted over, which is like completely fine. I don't think it like necessarily looks amazing, but I think that is more likely the case with some of the Constructicons, is like old CADs being like posed rather quickly. Because the big one is like, you know, people were like, what's up with Superion's shoulder? And Superion has one of Needle Nose's, if I remember right, legs on his shoulder. And like, specifically, I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like an LLM because that is very specifically a piece of another CAD model. And that's the shoulder that was one of the aerial bots that hasn't been revealed yet. I forgot which one. So I personally felt more like they were just smacking a bunch of jet robot parts together into a shape and then going like digital paint it. Oh, that friggin' the dude with the stupid chainmail hoodie. Yeah, that guy seems like he sucks. That seems like one of those guys who like I'll say like, yeah, I do fencing as a sport, and that's one of those guys who makes it embarrassing even though he doesn't do fencing. Where you're just like, oh, uh. There's something about like, you know, oh, we filmed this short fight scene in like a day, and it was like, you know, if he was like out of school or something, like, you know, it was fine, but like, we're showing the industry how it's done, and I was like, no, my man, you are not. That's not. I don't have anything else to say. It's just like to that thesis statement, the answer is false. Zimman, like assembling a rough composition in CAD, handing it off to artists saying, make this but a painting. Yeah, I mean, that very well could be what's going on, too. Which is valid. It's not great. I think it is a huge... Like, the fact that Marcelo was like, yeah, I'm not doing the box art on Age of the Primes. I'm like, well, that sucks, because I want Marcelo to get work. Because I think that he does good box art. So, again, like, this is something I've gone on about before, where it's about different battles where I think there is a lot of importance. So, like, what I would say, for instance, with Age of the Primes, right? I think the box art simply looks very undynamic and lesser. I feel that we have demonstrably lost some really good box art that was cooking with Marcelo, especially. And I think that's a shame. If they're not hiring him to do the box art, my question would be why? If the answer is we don't want to pay as much, then it's like, all right, well, visibly you are not. That's unfortunate. Ronnie Lane, you mean specifying the second half of... Yeah, knowing is half the battle, and specifying is the other half of the battle. And then the third half of the battle is knowing your math. Anyway, it's a tricky line for me to walk because it's very easy to construe what I'm doing as like, you know, running defense for the corpo, and like, no, I'm not. I have a certain outlook on this topic where I wish that how do I put it? I can't put it without sounding like a petulant teenager. I wish the discourse better suited my taste. I mean, yeah, Adam Billmu. I mean, you could always send him a message. I might have misunderstood. I just could have sworn that he mentioned that they didn't hire him to do the current crop of box art. Maybe they are hiring him to do another crop of box art, but, you know. Charging with the crime of cattle rustling. I mean, yeah, but, you know, I ate him already, so ain't no proof. Wouldn't knowing your math just be included in knowing? Well, we got to specify it because, like, we got to have a third half. Otherwise, we aren't thinking full heart. Yeah, I did not yet do it. I might still do it before I travel. I wanted to do some OBS chat videos about the Toy Fair stuff because I want to lay out my agenda, my manifest destiny on the topic of elbows. So I did not get a chance to record those yet. I might still do that. I wasn't going to stream them. I want to develop the habit of OBS recording chatty bits. I don't know why I get these like magic ARG frames that say media lost. But I think it's funny that they're in there because usually only one or two people notice them, and so I can flip it into like, oh, you caught the latest clue in the ARG, and then just not have to worry about why that's happening. It's because I'm pulling an MKV into DaVinci, and I'm sure something is just like getting goofy with that. So you know, let's see what happens with it. But yeah, I wanted to do another chatty bit. And I might do that to post while I'm on my little trip. Ronnie Lane, the notion that elbows will one day stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. I mean, kind of. You know, Elita's a boat, so she could carry my dream. Flashbangs, yeah. Well, they're flashbangs, except they're darker. So they're more like subliminal messages. But no, I thought Toy Fair was pretty solid. I like that. I like that Alchemist Prime is just a little guy. I think he's kind of cute. I wish Onyx Prime went harder on the Centaur mode, but that could just be a posing thing. So I kind of want to, mess with the toy at some point. I think it looks very fun. I like the idea of deploying a Centaur mode. Alex Lemons, I don't really have any particular records I like more than other ones. I'll just take what I get. I would like them to do Rack and Ruin because they did it once and I thought it turned out okay in Cyberverse. So I would like them to do it again. Well, Long River Valley, he's just like, he's Thu if Thu, like, made his look like that, right? He's still got the macadam shape, to some degree. The only major disappointment I had out of Transformers was the only thing they didn't do was actually show what the Cyberverse animation will look like. And I would like it to turn out well. I'm just very dubious right now. That there's like it may be some very solid like Cyberverse-esque like just good short animations. I would like that very much. I am concerned it may be like some 5-minute crafts ass like farted out nonsense because the corporation is headed by Christopher Piss Cox, and that could be to me a bit of a risk with anything that is announced as YouTube, like our animated series, our 5-minute episodes that will be debuting on YouTube. Sorry, Cyber World animation. Yeah, listen, it's happening to me now. They're using too many parts of the same words. But yeah, they basically did everything but show 2 seconds of Cyber World animation, and I'm like, if it's launching in the middle of, like, within months, like, please show some so that I know that you made some. That's really about it. Otherwise, I thought it was a fine toy fair. Yeah, Alita Boat Plane Truck 1. I think the Cyber World toys generally look like pretty neat. Just the Canadian MSRPs make them incredibly sad. Like, I actually want that Galvatron, the Dragon Galvatron, but because he has a funny weapon, that makes his price point go over $20 Canadian, and I don't want to pay over $20 Canadian for him. So, there I am, once again, strung up along my own petard. I don't know what VeggieTales are. Can't wait for Cyber World's sequel, Earthworld. Yeah, that's gonna. Personally, I can't wait for Transformers Cyberspark. The turn on the Xbox Megatron, it's worth noting, is a larger figure, and his retail price was, I think, $30 USD. So he's harder to pick up as a fun little thing, unless they make a little version of him. But the one that was like green that basically looked like movie Hound, but with Megatron's head, I believe that one was either $24 or $29.99 MSRP. Which, then you add like the 50% for Canadian dollars, and I'm just like, oh, oh, my soul. 25. Okay, thank you, Orodescent. I do really like the way that Scorponok turned out, specifically in part because he has little elbows that work. I finally caught, but I like the idea of a big robot turning into a playset that a bunch of little robots can just sit on. Like I like that play pattern a lot. I might pick up the Hearts of Steel figures. The Megatron is the only one that I really am digging the look of, so I'm not in a rush to, like, pick up all of them. But they look fine to me. There's nothing about them that's like, how could they do this? It's just not something about the delivery on them is like is not like setting me off super hard. I think that the $25 Megatron has like he's $25 because of gimmicks. I just forgot if any of them were like sound gimmicks or anything like that. Basically, at some point I found I had a link to like an ad copy PDF that I could flip through, and there was he has some kind of like gimmick specific to him. But yeah, the Cyberworld thing, if it's like Cyberverse, then they can make some fun episodes. There's a lot like visually, there's a lot of great visual design work for Cyberworld. The box art looks like it's drawn by a person, for instance, like that's huge. But I want to know how that translates into motion with audio. Other guys can fit into his truck mode, I think. Yeah, I would assume as, like, a larger price point, he would have, you know, so you could take the little guys and, like, stick them on him somewhere. Yeah, Wave Sign, I think it's because, like, MMC was just doing Hearts of Steel, and then when they stopped, it's because nobody was buying it enough to make it anymore. And I think that just, like, had a wraparound effect on that entire marketplace, where they're like, well, if they're not doing it, we're not touching it. Although I thought someone would do a pocket scale one because what was it, Mech Fans or whoever, they did like the little Bumblebee train who was okay. So I figured someone was gonna, but hi for springing. I did kind of do everything I was gonna do already. Yeah. I even did a little, like, analyze the images to see if they have been LLM'd exercise. Adam Billman, I wonder if we'll get some startling RoboSen reveal this week. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the weird dude's gonna tell me, like, what other deer he's shot. Alex Lemons, I don't know, because I don't, if you're talking about stuff from a leak list, I don't really get excited about leak lists because I don't know what they look like. So I don't really react to them much. Like, if it's a leak list thing saying there's an IDW-styled Roadbuster in Whirl, then, like, you get my usual answer. If they're good, then they're great. But if they're not good, then they're bad. Because there's too many variables to inform, like, what those will look like without seeing anything of them. So I guess if I was, like, a better YouTuber, I'd be like, Hasbro making, finally, the perfect IDW Roadbuster and Whirl, and just have a whole bunch of pictures of them from the comic books, and then go like, well, now, we don't know anything about what they look like yet, but if they look anything like the comics, then they're gonna be perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't kept up with any leak lists. So if those are off a leak list, then they are. If they're not, then, like, they're a fun idea, I guess. Like, I think the leak lists tend to not miss too much, but I would always caution, like, don't get attached to leak lists, because, like, if they're too early, things that are on them might just not exist anymore, and you don't really have a place to get angry about that, because, like, you weren't even supposed to know they were on a list in the first place. That's like getting angry at someone for not making something they weren't planning to make, basically. You need red circles in your mouth agape. The problem with my mouth agape is, like, I don't want to just give away my tongue for free. I want people to have to work to see my tongue. You know, not just get it on a still image where, like, oh, I can just open image in new tab and just look at that tongue for a while. No. Make your own screen cap. You aren't supposed to know about Trinity. Yeah, like Polar Claw. You can't really get mad at them for Polar Claw not existing because they never announced Polar Claw. You know, he's... If anything, it's like, well, he was in a piece of art, and it's like, yeah, he was. So were lots of things. So that's why you have a page. That's right. Proud to announce my upcoming Patreon tier. Would you like a new Nightbeat? Yeah, I'll take a new anybody as long as the toy is good. To my taste, specifically. If it's good to someone else's taste, then I hate it. On my goddamn Smilodon fossilizer. I personally canceled that one, Picky. Oh no, the Kingdom art piece had, what was it? It had the Smilodon and it had Polar Claw, right? Or am I thinking of something else? Oh yeah, you mean was the siege boxes? Was that the one where they had like the what's it? The vector art as the backdrop? It's been so long now. I was talking about this recently, but like something that I found very helpful to think about the way that a Hasbro operates. Like when it comes to like, well, didn't they show this and why did they not follow up with that? Is like there is no Hasbro entity that's doing that. Everything that we see out of Hasbro generally is some part of a ridiculously granular, layered, and hierarchied machine where all the passionate people exist somewhere in the middle down to near the bottom. And they are not just sent into a void to think of, like, come up with some new Transformers, for instance. They are given, at least some general, as I understand it at least, they are given some general guidelines, / they make pitches to the people in the upper echelons. Whatever is approved to be made and go forward with usually has some level of meddling from that point onwards, be it some imperatives that must be fulfilled, some deliverables that must be a part of that package, or limitations as far as you have X budget for Y things. And that X budget is not always X budget for Y toy line, it's like X budget for Y capsule, it's X budget for Y price point, etc., etc. So, usually, if anything happens where it's like they showed something and nothing came of it, or they said they were going to do something and they never did, it's probably because someone who doesn't care about Transformers or us or the people who work on Transformers but is above them said nah, and then moved on. I found that it's a lot less frustrating at times to witness the entire project as a fan of it once I kind of like sorted out that perspective. Zimman, you forgot the stage where the people in the upper echelon sacrifice some small animal to a pit that tells them what's worth giving money to. No, I think they just do people now. None of these damn animals can talk English. What's arf 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 supposed to mean? How's it tell me what stocks to invest in? Excellent. Do these toys transform my stocks? Well, funny question to ask this week. Veggie it's the other way around. Stocks transform the toy. Yeah, kind of, I guess. Yeah. That is why I just, I enjoy and I appreciate and I like a lot of the folks who work on Transformers, and it's a fun vibe, it's a neat context in which to be creative, and I feel for everyone who works on it because I believe they probably are having a very difficult time getting very much done, and they probably also have grown to fear Christmas, which is unfortunate. That's why I got hype when I saw, what was it? That video, some video out of the Agabus booth where like Mark Mara walked in on the background. I was like, oh look, Mark is like walking around and like having like fun and smiling at people. John Hasbro got fired from Hasbro. Yeah. Yeah, generally speaking, like a Marvel subline continue. I want every subline to continue. I am a fan of as many creative outlets existing as possible because at the end of the day, a thing like Transformers is meant to be a contextualized outlet of creativity. So I do not believe in limiting that in any way, shape, or form. Mostly because they already are limited in various ways, shapes, and forms by the people who exist in the taller, thinner, say 2% size part of the hierarchy. I want to ask Crispy Cox what his favorite Transformer is, up or down, on if it's Optimus Prime or Bumblebee. Oh. I mean, I guess it just depends what he ate that morning, right? Did he eat something that was red-hued or something that was yellow? Did he have a piece of watermelon or a slice of banana, right? Like, what does his brain immediately grab onto when you ask the question? Lee, but look, you get to have the ghost eyes. You get to have the creepypasta scare faces. I wonder, can I what if I tweet that in here? Where are the filters that I put on it? Oh, here we go. Hide it. You live! Which one can I introduce to the world of Dungeons and Dragons? I don't know how Christopher Piss Cox speaks. I don't know what his voice sounds like. We back now. Okay, I'm curious. So if I go to my desktop, so what? Okay, it was mostly for the old framing, I guess. Oh, but now you can't see my hand waving around. Pisscock should get your quadruple A gamer guy vocal fry. I don't want to give him vocal fry, though. Christopher Pisscox doesn't deserve to have, like, even tangential sexiness. Gilbert Gottfried. As I said, no, don't give him the tangential sexiness. I think if someone were like, hey, voice cast for this character's name is Christopher Pisscox. He runs a large corporation that makes a lot of beloved children's toys into NFTs. I'd be like, okay, I think that he should probably sound like Sticky Porridge, but in the bad way, not the good way. Yeah, you found the world's 2 Gilbert Gottfried White Knights. Chris Cox plays a human businessman in the newest Marketplace of Ideas campaign. Like, I sometimes wonder if they made him up, because he is such a cartoon character of an idea, right? Who ruined Magic the Gathering as far as, like, swiveling it towards a FOMO machine? Christopher Piss Cox. Who was elevated from that position into CEO-ship of the entirety of Hasbro and started applying the same sciences because Brian Goldner died. It's going to be some guy called Christopher Piss Cox. Are you making up... Is his name really Chris P. Cox? No, that's his real name. Okay, what does he say about Dungeons & Dragons? It should be more monetized, and he prefers having an AI DM. Like, this is a cartoon character. This isn't a real person. I mean, I know he is, but... It was the real cherry on top was the part where he's like, I actually think I prefer having an AI DM. It's like... That's the punchline of a joke. Now, I know the era we live in is we are in the punchline of a joke era of history. But regardless, when it gets that specific, in my little niches, it still starts to feel targeted. Chris Peacocks is the simulation shorting out. It's like that was the name in the code comments. And they were like, come up with a better name than Christopher Peacocks. And then they never did. And they're like, who launched the instance with Chris Peacocks in the public frame? That said, I'm very I'm very proud of myself for all by myself thinking up Christopher Pisscocks. I think it rolls off the tongue well when you have to have Christopher in the front, otherwise it doesn't work right. Deputy Director Hugh Jass. Yeah. I'm gonna get the music playing because I gotta go work on feeding myself and a couple other things before I should try to get some sleep. Not been great about doing that. I'm in one of those cycles again right before I fly too, which is like really good planning on my part, if I'm being honest. Oh, there we go. It's playing. Well, thanks for tuning in, if you were able to. If you're on a VOD, thanks for watching it. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. I might not, because I might be all panicking about getting all my stuff ready. I don't know that I'll be able to stream from TFCon LA, just because I don't know what the internet situation is like. So I can't guarantee, like, streaming any of the panels or whatnot. What I can guarantee is I will be endeavoring to get at the panel footage, like I often do nowadays, so that I can produce them as nice little videos for, like, a couple hundred of you to watch after the fact. Am I saying that a little bit pointedly? Yes! Nobody watches panel videos, but I know a lot of you do, and that's good enough for me. But yeah, I will be posting a lot, as much as I can, partly as proof of life while I'm traveling. Yeah, I will catch you all later on. Stay safe out there. Stay informed, but also prioritize this, that being yours. Otherwise, like, how can you enjoy donuts without a functional donut brain? You need the muscle. You need that little hoop that goes every time you take a big bite of a donut or donut-adjacent piece. Think about it.
Let them come.